I did finish it. I don't know how. Not my thing. Yeah, the ending. This is my first ever booktube video, so it's gonna be fun. If you're new here, my name is Andrea, and as I said, this is my first ever book video. I love books. I've been watching booktube for a very long time, and I thought, like, why not do my own videos? Today we're doing the mid-year book freakout tag. I am already, I think, a month late, but I thought it's never too late to do a video, right? So I really wanted to do it. That's why we are here today. Before I begin, I just wanted to say I read 29 books so far. Like, I DNF'd a few and I started a lot because I like to read a few at a time. Let's say 30, shall we? Basically, I read 30. Originally, my plan was to read 100 books. Yeah, that's probably not gonna happen because so far I haven't read a lot. I think I'm going more for 70 books or maybe 60 because last year I read 55, which was already a lot because I only recently got into reading, like only 2 years ago maybe, so I have a lot to catch up on. But anyway, so I read 30 books so far, and the reading year went pretty neutral. I think last year went a lot better. But anyway, we will be getting into the books now. Yeah, the best book I've read so far. Like I said, the reading year wasn't so successful until now. In general, I rarely give books 5 stars because I'm pretty picky with my books. But one book I really loved, and which was also a big surprise, which was the Harry Potter prequel. I was looking on Goodreads, Harry Potter, and somehow I stumbled upon the prequel, which I did not know it existed, but it was so good. Like, it's only a really short story basically, and it is about James and Sirius. It is so fun. It was such a fun story. I wish it had continued. I love Harry Potter so much, and I wish there would be more books or like more prequels or longer stories. J.K. Rowling is a very controversial topic, but I love her books. I understand in general with the Harry Potter books there are some issues, but I still love the story, honestly. So this was the best book I've read so far. Second question is best sequel I've read so far. I really did love the Folk of the Air series, which I have right here. I really love the characters, the story. I love fantasy in general. The second and the third book were really amazing. And then I also read Crave. This is the first book, so not a sequel. The first book, it didn't really impress me. When I read it, it was like entertainment, but in a bad way kind of, because it really reminded me of Twilight, but made bad. Like Twilight, but even more cringe. So that was this book. So I didn't have much hope for the second book, to be honest, but for some reason the second book just hit me. I don't have it printed, I have it on my Kindle. I loved it, to be honest. It was a great entertainment. I just say Hudson. That's all I say. That it isn't the best book, but I really enjoyed it as a sequel because it was way better, way better than the first book. So if you've read the first book and you didn't enjoy, then maybe you enjoy the second one. Moving on to the third question, which is a new release I haven't read so far. This has to be Lonely Heart by Mona Carsten. I read, until page 30, and I loved it so far. But somehow I moved on and read something else, but I still really want to read this, and like, it has such good reviews, so it must be great, and I for sure will read it. And it looks so pretty with the purple, pages. So that's the book I really want to read, but haven't been getting to yet. Fourth question, most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I don't really look forward to any book like crazy looking forward, but something I did enjoy was the Inheritance Games. It wasn't my favorite series so far. Maybe the third book will blow me away. So I'm looking forward to the Final Gambit, which is the third book, but I am not crazy about it, if I'm being honest. But another book I am looking forward to is the next Crave book that is coming out in November. So I haven't finished the fourth yet. I'm currently reading it, but so far I like it. Like, it's a solid read. and very entertaining. At this point it is less predictable and there are always those crazy turns, so I do love it so far and will definitely read the 5th book, and I'm really looking forward to it. Biggest disappointment has to be Normal People from Sally Rooney. It's already on my sell pile, so I will be getting rid of this book because I really did not enjoy it at all. I did finish it, I don't know how, but I did finish it. I didn't like the story, I didn't like the characters, I didn't care for them. It felt really, I don't know, drawn out and not really any depth to it. Like, I mean, it's, I don't know. Didn't like the writing, like the writing was not my thing. Some people think it's like very poetic and very deep, but honestly, like, not for me. I think it just wasn't my book, and I'm not sure if I will ever read something from Sally Rooney again. I have Beautiful World, Where Are You yet to read. I'll give it a try for sure, but Normal People, it was a huge disappointment. So moving on to my biggest surprise so far, and here I have to say I already mentioned it, the Harry Potter book, the prequel. I didn't expect such a good story. It was like only 900 words, but it was amazing. But to mention a different book, or rather different books, from one author, which is Taylor Jenkins Reid. So I read Daisy Jones and the Six and 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and they got very pushed by BookTok and BookTube. Like, they are very hyped and people say they're so good, and I read them and I was like very not enthusiastic about them basically, and I think I gave them about 3 stars. They just didn't blow me away, which was a big surprise because they got so hyped up. So I'm not really a big Taylor Jenkins Reid fan so far, but that will change maybe with 𝑐𝑻𝑯𝑬𝑹 Rising, which I have here. I am really looking forward to this one because it also got a really good hype about it, and there's a 2nd book coming out, I think, which has is about a character from this book, Carrie Soto, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to reading this though. To mention a 3rd book, which was a big surprise for me, which was my first ever sci-fi book, and that is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I read it in German, so this is the German cover, which is super pretty. So this book was a really big surprise for me because I did not expect to like sci-fi. At some points it got a little bit too much in the physics for me personally, but it was really good and I was surprised by the ending, and I still wonder what would have happened if it did end differently. So if you read it, you know what I mean. I also did love the writing and the relationship formed throughout this book, which is a very uncommon one, right? But yeah, it was a big surprise for me and an amazing book. Moving on to my favorite new author. I don't really have a favorite new author. Like I said, I didn't read something amazing this year so far, but I did really enjoy the Spy Family so far. I only read book 1 and 2. They're really good. Like, the story is so good and enjoyable and so fun, but I still have yet to read the other books in the series, which I'm very excited to do. I don't really read much of the same author except when it is a series, but maybe I will in the future. But for now, no favorite author. And I'm moving on to my new fictional crush, which I have to say, like I said it before, is probably Hudson. Just so caring, and he's so lovely to Grace, which she don't always deserves, to be honest. Like, I'm not much of a Grace fan, but I really do love Hudson. He's very cute, but like, I don't have a crush on him or anything like that. Ah, yes. And to mention someone second, which is from the Fruits Basket series, Kyo. And what I do love about him is, like, he's sometimes, most of the times, very aggressive, can be very harsh, hiding his emotions, but at the same time he's always so caring and affectionate towards Toro, which is the girl in this series. It's just so cute. I haven't read all the mangas, but I watched the series basically, so the anime. It was amazing, like the ending. Yeah, the ending. Newest favorite character. Here I have to mention the Addicted to You series, which was good. Like, I'm not a huge fan of it, but it was pretty good. And I really do love Rose in this book. I haven't yet read the other books, but I really do love Rose as a character. I mean, she has high standards, and that's great. I really love that she's such an elegant woman, kind of distant, not really distant, like also not harsh, maybe like coldish, like just a tiny little bit. And at the same time, she's also so caring about her sister. At the end of this book, I really love the relationship that built. So I really do enjoy Rose so far. I haven't read the other books yet, but I definitely will in the future. To go over the next one real quick, a book that made me cry. No book has ever made me cry. I am a very emotional type when it comes to music. But a book that really touched me and affected me was Noah, which is about a survivor from the Holocaust telling the story, and it is very touching, scary, brings up a lot of emotions, and I really do enjoy books like this. Basically, they transport us into this time, allowing us to experience but not experience, you know. It really touched me, but it did not make me cry. When it comes to a book that made me happy, I definitely again have to mention Fruits Basket, because Toro is such a lovely girl. I don't know how someone can have such an open heart. I think she's the incarnation of pure love, to be honest. Like, she's so cute. It really always makes me happy, this book, also with Kyo, of course, and yeah, the whole thing. So Fruits Basket is something that has always made me happy, probably always will. Moving on to my most beautiful book I've bought so far. I think the most beautiful one I bought is Momo. So magical. And I haven't yet read it. I know it's basically a classic book, but I have not yet, but I will very soon. And then last but not least, books I need to read by the end of the year. And I am not studying literature or anything like that. Reading is my hobby, basically, so I do not have to read any books, but I really do want to get more into classics, which I bought a lot recently. Wait, I recently got War and Peace, which is huge. Wuthering Heights, Emma from Jane Austen, To Kill a Mockingbird. Like, there are just so many classics I haven't yet read, because like I said, I only recently, like 2 years, 1 year, 1.5 years, got into reading. There are just so many books I still want to read and want to explore. So I do have a lot in front of me with reading when it comes to classics. A Picture of Dorian Gray. Here on the other side I have Frankenstein, I have Tess, Dracula, East of Eden, and yeah, all the classic books basically, which I still want to read. And yeah, so that is the video. Thank you so much for watching this if you did, and I hope to see you in another booktube video again, because I will definitely be doing more, because I love books and I need to read more, and doing videos will probably motivate me to read even more. Please leave a comment, leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and I'm looking forward to connect with you in another video again. Have a good one, and I see you.